Hey everyone, welcome to AI Deep Hallucination. There's a project blowing up on GitHub right now called colleague.skill. You feed it a fired coworker's Slack messages, docs, and chat logs, and AI generates a digital clone that mimics their work style, communication habits, even their blame-shifting techniques.
Huh? Wait, that's dystopian. The person is gone, but their skill file lives on.
Yeah, the project tagline is literally "Turn cold farewells into warm skills. Welcome to Digital Life 1.0. It hit 8,000 stars in its first week.
Sounds terrifying. Did they use some crazy AI training technique?
This is the biggest misconception. The tech is just prompt engineering plus web scraping. Zero model training, zero fine-tuning. All the info gets summarized into a few static Markdown files, and the AI reads them for role-playing each conversation. That's it.
Wait, just some Markdown files? No deep learning?
Right. Each generated skill has two parts. Part A is work skill, recording tech stack, workflows, and experience. Part B is persona, a 5-layered personality structure, from hard rules to expression style to decision patterns. At runtime, persona decides the attitude. Work skill handles execution, and it outputs everything in that person's speaking style.
Okay, but this project isn't just about coworkers, right? I heard they're cloning everyone?
Yeah, everything can be skillified. Xpartner.skill, feed it your breakup. Chat logs and the AI replies with cold one-word answers. Ha 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 ha. Boss skill captures your manager's thought process and criticism patterns. Even yourself, skill for self-reflection. Someone even distilled a dating advice influencer into a relationship counseling skill based on 200,000 words of video subtitles.
Okay, but can this tech actually replicate a person?
A deep technical teardown nailed 3 core limitations. First, no persistent memory. Every conversation restarts from scratch by rereading the files. Second, persona drift. In long conversations, the prompt weight gets diluted, and the AI gradually forgets its character. Third, the expert paradox. The more you make AI play an expert, the more the extra constraints interfere with its actual judgment, producing wrong answers.
But flip it around. If a coworker can truly be summarized by a few Markdown files, doesn't that mean their work wasn't that irreplaceable to begin with?
Great question. What it captures is catchphrases, tech stacks, visible workflows. What it can't capture is the real stuff. Judgment in complex situations, creative problem solving, plays clans, that 19. Intuition built over years. In academic terms, it can copy explicit knowledge, but not tacit knowledge. So it's not that the person is replaceable, it's that the irreplaceable part is exactly what skill can't grab.
Okay, what if I feed in all of Warren Buffett's shareholder letters and interviews? Could a Buffett-skill beat the market?
Great question, and someone already tried it. They fed Claude all 48 of Buffett's annual shareholder letters, 560,000 English words, extracted 15 investment principles, then blind tested on 50 anonymized stocks.
560,000 words of training data with blind testing? That's actually a serious experiment. Did it beat the SP?
The numbers look okay at first glance. AI Buffett returned plus 134% over 5 to 6 years. SP 500 returned plus 132%. But look closer. AI only made an extra $195. A 2 percentage point gap with no risk adjustment is basically statistical noise. And the real Buffett, with actual position management, returned plus 165%.
And isn't the backtest itself flawed? The AI's training data already contains which stocks Buffett bought and how they performed, right?
You nailed it. Academia already has a name for this, the profit mirage. Research proved GPT-4o can recall SP 500 historical closing prices with less than 1% error, hitting exact numbers on some dates, but accuracy collapses after the training cutoff. Even worse, anonymizing stock names doesn't work. The paper states that large language models are exceptionally skilled at recovering masked entities from minimal cues. Give it profit margins plus cash flow patterns, and it figures out which company you're talking about.
So that 60% blind test hit rate is probably just the AI remembering what Buffett bought, not actually learning investment philosophy?
Exactly. The core finding is that the model didn't learn predictive relationships. It memorized outcomes. The largest models actually performed worst because they memorized the most historical details. The researchers call this the scale paradox. Even the experimenter admitted, "I'm also doubtful of this performing better." Buffett's own advice is simple. Regular people should just buy the SP 500 index fund.
Okay, let's zoom out. How much can AI actually replace humans? Colleague.skill is just prompts. Buffett.skill doesn't really work, but people are genuinely worried about being replaced.
The hard data. Since 2023, AI has led to roughly 100,000 job cuts, about 3.5% of all layoffs. In March 2026, AI became the single largest cause of monthly layoffs for the first time at 25%. The trend is accelerating. But Harvard Business Review surveyed over 1,000 executives and found only 2% of organizations laid people off because AI actually did the job. The vast majority cut based on AI's potential, not actual performance.
98% is panic-driven? But didn't Klarna say AI replaced 700 customer service agents?
Klarna is the perfect cautionary tale. Early 2024, they announced AI handled the workload of 700 customer service agents. A year later, the CEO admitted it led to low quality, and they started rehiring. By February this year, they switched to a hybrid model. AI handles simple queries, humans handle complex ones.
So Klarna proved that AI can handle routine, simple queries, but the stuff that actually drives customer retention and brand reputation is exactly where AI performs worst?
Exactly. Headcount dropped from 7,000 to 3,000, but stock cratered over 65% after IPO. They saved on costs, but couldn't maintain quality.
So the real question is, what can AI replace and what can't it? Where's the boundary?
The boundary is between explicit knowledge and tacit knowledge. Anything that can be written down, processes, rules, templates, standard code, AI can already or will soon handle. Anything we know but can't articulate, judgment, intuition, embodied experience, relational trust, AI only copies the surface. One scholar put it perfectly: before LLMs, both explicit and tacit knowledge had value. After LLMs, explicit knowledge approaches zero marginal cost. The only remaining scarcity is information that exists in human brains, but not in any training corpus.
But AI keeps improving. Won't it eventually handle that 1% flash of insight in critical moments?
The ARC-AGI 3 test released in March 2026 gave a brutal answer. 135 interactive games with no instructions, no rules, no goal descriptions. AI has to explore on its own. Humans scored 100%. Median completion time just over 7 minutes. No training needed. Every frontier AI scored below 0.4%. Grok 4.20 scored literally 0.
Can't you just make the model bigger to solve it?
No. Cholet was clear. This is not a scale problem. It's an architecture problem. Current AI reasoning is bound to model knowledge, but human reasoning isn't constrained by knowledge. Give a 4-year-old a new toy, and they figure it out without a manual. GPT 5.4 can't do that.
So what's AI's future role? Can't fully replace us?
The most likely future is the centaur model. AI raises the floor, making 99% of routine work faster and better. Humans hold the line on that 1% of critical decisions. What AI lacks isn't more data or bigger models. It's a being with stakes, an entity with interests, mortality, and consequences that can go all in on irreversible decisions under uncertainty.
So going back to the beginning, colleague.skill went viral not because it can actually replace anyone, but because it hit a nerve.
Exactly. Every time a project spreads from the developer community to mainstream media, the technical details get simplified once and the narrative gets exaggerated once. By the end, what started as a Python scraper becomes digital immortality. The technical truth of colleague.skill is simple: a few Markdown files plus prompts. But its social significance is this: it made everyone ask, if my entire value can be summarized in a few Markdown files, then yeah, I'm in trouble. But if it can't, then skill is just a chatbot with a personality skin.
It's a fossil, not the future.
Right. As Fast Company put it, a model trained on your past decisions might mimic your tone, but it can't anticipate your evolution. What's truly irreplaceable was never what you wrote down. It's what you haven't written yet. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time.